Welcome everyone! Hi! Hope everyone is having a most fabulous of Fridays. Welcome, welcome. I am Spacey Batotelli. I am a gadgeteer bat and a game developer. And today we are doing game development stuff. Hey! I'm excited. It's gonna be nice and chill. Also, how is the volume of my voice compared to the background music? Because I felt like it was, looking back at the VOD of my last game dev stream, I felt it was a little bit loud. People did mention that in the chat, but I wasn't paying attention. Sorry about that. When I wear my glasses, I appear to resemble my real-life self a bit more. Yeah! I'm so glad I have glasses now. Volume sounds good. Awesome! Right, let me take a sippy real quick. So, I have made some progress on my Hololive Fangame project Chrono gear since we last talked, mostly on the art side of things, but I also made some notable buffs to our protagonist, Oro Crony. Music is a bit loud, just a bit. Okay. Okay, how about now? Now, despite my efforts to balance the volume of all my music tracks, some end up louder than others, so I will err on the side of caution and go on like the quieter end. Oh, yeah. The new generation of Hololive English VTubers, Hololive admin. I'm so excited for their debut. Like, whoever designed like their looks is, oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. I think just by my first impressions, I think I'm gonna vibe with Narissa Ravencroft the most, because like I'm a goth IRL, and that is like 1000% my IRL aesthetic. Bash Script Kid, welcome to the Spacey Batotelli channel. We're doing game dev today. We just got started. Feel free to sit down and chill out with us. Yeah, and the twins. That's a really cool gimmick. Like the fact that the twins both share the same account and they'll stream on the same channel. I've never seen that done before. Oh my goodness. As far as like VTuber stuff goes. Yomi, welcome. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Alright, so I guess I can start off by showing off some of the changes that I've made gameplay-wise. Yeah, Hololive is basically it. You know, like there's a few like corporate like VTuber companies, like Hololive and Nijisanji, for example, and they're kind of like a talent agency, but specifically for like VTubers. It's really interesting. And they've been around for a few years now, but they didn't really take off until the pandemic started. Borb fan, welcome. Love seeing my hand as an art asset moving. Yeah, okay, one other thing I should mention is that looking back at the VOD of my last dev stream, I noticed that there was some lag, like on the gameplay video. Like the video and the audio got more and more out of sync as the stream went on. So do let me know if that happens this time. I'm trying a different method of video input this time to hopefully alleviate some of that latency. Also, can you hear the game audio? Okay. Audio's good? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I in my playlist I loaded in an overclocked remix album of Gunstar Heroes, and also a few Free and Planet tracks as well. I couldn't help myself after playing it.
Yesterday's surgery went well. Thanks for the lucky wishes.
Louise, thank you for the 6 months, and I'm so glad to hear that. I'm glad the surgery went well. Surgery can be quite scary, so it's good to know that it's over with. Okay, so as you can see, I made a few more maps since last time. I'll start with the hub area. This is basically going to be kind of like, you know, like Peach's Castle in Mario 64, where you can kind of go around and there's portals to different levels. So, I've done a few changes to the player control since last time. You might notice there's now a dust trail whenever we dash. Just a nice visual thing. Also, in the top left, you might notice that there is now two different mana bars. Originally, there was just like a little wheel that appeared whenever you used a time power, and you couldn't use another time power until it was expended. But now, if like we use the speed one, for example, you can see that the bar is slowly depleting. And then once it runs out, it will slowly refill. It refills faster the more empty it is. So that way you don't have to worry about like wasting too much time if you let it run out. But because speed and slow are now on their own separate bars, you can combo them together. So like I could block an enemy attack with this, and then I can go into haste and go in for the kill like that. I'll show that off once I go to an actual map. Also, Chronicopter has been buffed. Originally, all you could do was just press jump and like you'd kind of like ascend a little bit before falling back down. But now you can hold the button and you can slowly descend. I talked about wanting to do that on the last stream, but I wasn't sure if it would be too OP, but it doesn't feel OP. I think it's a nice way to kind of like keep your descent slow. Mike, welcome. Game's looking nice. Thank you. Also, I've made some adjustments to the physics of the drill sword. So originally, if you drilled like next to like a staircase like this, you would bonk and then it would end like immediately. But now if you do that, oh sorry, this is me like this is like an early test of like NPCs, and they do react to getting attacked, but it doesn't hurt them, so it's fine. But yeah, these are Oro Cronies mascots, like representing her fans. They're called cronies, you know, like with a C, but it's spelled with a K. But yeah, it works. Basically, any block that's like one block above you, if you drill, then it will automatically push you upwards so that the drill continues, and it works for ceilings too, just like that. So it feels a lot nicer. It flows better, and that way you'll be able to drill up staircases. The clock kept ticking people off, yeah. I have a feeling that Crony fans are gonna get a kick out of that. I always thought it was interesting when games had NPCs and they actually reacted to the player like trying to attack them, even if it's just something small, like, you know, like their sprite like squishing a little bit. Kind of like in Mario games, like when you jump on top of an NPC, they usually bounce a little bit and make a noise. Also, last but not least, when you face plant, you can stay like that indefinitely if you want. Before she got up after like a second or so, but now you can just stay there if you want. But whenever you press a button, to move the control stick, you get back up. Ashley, welcome. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Fairies. But you can kind of faceplant if you want. I have a funny idea later on. I could make it so that enemies don't react to you if you're faceplanted because they think you're dead. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the art direction in this hub area. So I'll go back over to the editor. So basically how I put it together is that like I have a parallax background node in Godot, and within that you can add parallax layers which control how fast they move in the background. So we've got a nice space background. I like it when like you have a space background with twinkling stars, but that would take that will cut a lot, like I did that in Freedom Planet too, but the way I did it was that I dropped down like 100 like different tiny star objects and then had them sparkle like randomly. For this, I did a little bit of a shortcut instead. I attached an animation player to the space background, and what happens is that over time, let me zoom in. Over time, the background will rotate. If I can find, okay, I'm on the right animation. There we go. See, like, you see how it's like rotating a little bit? So what happens is that when the animation is played, it's the effect is very gradual. But since, like, it'll rotate one direction and then pause and then rotate in the other direction. What happens there is because the game is at a lower native resolution. If you just pay attention to the background, because of the way the texture is filtered, it looks like the stars are twinkling when they spin. Like if you just wait a second for it to start rotating the other direction. Yeah, you see that? Like, unless you're really paying attention, you can't tell that that they're not actually twinkling, they're just rotating, but I think that's a nice shortcut. Yeah, exploiting the rotation artifacts of the pixel art. I also have a shader effect on these rings in the background, and it kind of like gives them a reflective surface. I think it looks really cool. It makes for a dramatic background set piece. Yeah, and additionally, I went for underlighting on everything. Like the environment is like a night environment, so everything has a blue tint. However, there is orange lighting on the background. Not the background, the bottom of everything. So it kind of like gives like a nice like orange-blue contrast. And I've got that on the tiles as well. Just like orange underglow and everything. It gives the impression that there's something on the bottom of the screen that is giving off like a warm glow. And I think that like adds to like the serene, dreamlike atmosphere of the hub. Yeah, warm front the cool tops. Yeah, this is the spawn point of the player. You don't actually see the sprite, it's just a way to like visually indicate in the editor. Now, this guy over here is eventually going to be a test for like NPC conversations and dialogue. The Pokemon music sounds like it's been level correctly. Nice. Yeah, underlings. This is actually an official mascot of one of the Hololive council members, Iris. She just drew a stick figure one day, and that became her fan mascot to represent her fans. They're called Gyrus. But I thought that was really cute. She actually has like official mascots that are like more polished, but they don't represent the fans. They're just kind of her buddies. Yeah. But yeah, I put some work in for like a concept of a dialogue box, and I think it looks pretty decent. It uses the same panel as like the options menu and everything. And then I went with an 80x80 avatar, and I have it like poke above the top border. This did take me a while to draw. Like I pretty much spent like half a day drawing this test portrait for Chrono. I might need to adjust my strategy a little bit because like there are quite a few characters that I need to draw portraits for, and I want at least a few different expressions for each one. To the extent that I would draw those expressions completely from scratch. So, like, I don't want to spend like forever and ever like working on the artwork for this game. Yeah, I got Gravity Circuit music on my playlist too. Oh, such a good game. So yeah, I might need to think of a more economical approach, but I still really like the way that this works. I do want to make it work if I can. Because the thing is, I don't want to spend more than 6 months on this game. getting it into a state where it can be publicly playable. So I have to think economically about certain things. Like, even if something looks really good, if it takes me too long, then I might have to abandon that strategy. Oh, yeah. My kind of like sort of official fan name for my fans is my Underwings. You know, like it's a play on underlings. And okay, let me see. I think I still have the pixel art of what my Underwings look like. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Where's my pictures? Because I have to remember where on my hard drive I put it. Where is it? Source. Okay, I see. Oh, that's not the correct bat. I have multiple bats in my picture folder. Where'd you go? I found. Okay, so I'm gonna put... Yeah, this is the concept I came up with to represent all of you, my Underwings. Yeah, the BB. Yeah, I have a soft spot for when VTubers like have like little pet names for like their viewers. Thank you, Yomi. I really like your assistants on your stream. Are those kind of your representative of your fans? Yeah, Borb. And I went for like a I wanted to choose like a few features that were like exaggerated proportion wise. So I went with like exaggerated huge bat ears and an exaggerated huge bat nose. Yeah, your assistants are your fans too. Nice. Let's go. Fluff Paradox, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to my stream. I'm doing game dev stuff, but I wanted to show off my mascot, my Underwings. Yeah, it would really be really cool to see like my mascot rigged and then like floating next to me someday. But yes, back to game dev stuff. Yeah, that's my. This isn't programmed yet, but I will program it eventually. So, I also have made a little bit more progress on some of the levels that I had on the last stream. Actually needs to draw and animate the Underwing. That would be so fun. Yosh. Okay, let me take sippy real quick. Okay, good stuff. Inhale vapor. Yeah. I just love the look of my model when I'm like, it's tea. It's tea. Yes, head pats work now. I made sure to fix those at the end of our stream yesterday. Tea. Okay. So, oh! Martinez! Thank you for the follow! I appreciate it! Welcome! So, Belltown has a background now, as you can see. And like each individual building actually scrolls at a different speed. I think that makes it feel a little bit more dense. I have not done anything with the layout since last time. It's exactly the same, but now I can kind of show you how the powers kind of go in sync now. Yeah, like that. Whoop. Boink. Also, I made a pogo crony, but I don't like the way that it feels to fight yet. I think it might need like another unique like attack state, because it's kind of vague whether or not you get hurt by it. Ah. Yeah, clever use of 3 building sprites for the background. Yeah. Okay. Okay, push blocks still work. So I can kind of do this, reflect the shot, and then go in for the kill with the drill. Also, this is a good showcase of how like the drill moving up with the stairs is very useful. It makes it flow a lot nicer. Ah, that feels nice. That's good, really gonna come in handy so I don't like absolutely need slopes everywhere. But yeah, that's that level. Okay, and the Sanctum was the other level that I worked on last time. Let me take another sippy. The jingle is nice, thank you, Yomi. So for this level, most of the progress I made was in terms of getting like gimmicks in. Also, the Lancer is a lot more slippery, so it's easier to deal with. Because I kept getting accidentally hit by it. Okay. So, I worked on some new gimmicks to kind of like fill out the space. There's this pendulum that actually pushes you. You can stand on it, but it's not really meant to be a platform that you walk on. It's more meant to like impede your progress. And then I also have these cogwheel platforms. And I had this lever last time, but it's been touched up a little bit to flow more nicely. Stasis is still absolutely busted for dealing with enemies. Also, stasis works on these gimmicks. Let me land myself up real quick. Yeah, there you go. It slows down with the stasis. I think I'm gonna have fun with that, like having like levels that don't have a lot of enemies in them, but they're more about platforming, and you have to like time using the stasis to get past them easier. Okay. Oh, also, I don't know if you noticed, but so I had a bit of a conundrum last time with these enemies, where if you crouched in front of them, they were harmless. My solution for that was to make their fan blades actually hurt you, but that didn't feel very satisfying. So I decided to make it so that their fan blades are harmless again, and instead what will happen is if you stand in front of them and crouch, they will aim down at you now. It's such a simple solution, but I think it works. It works a lot nicer. Don't want to collect that yet. Also, Coyote Time still works. I think I made the cogwheels react to stasis. Let me double check that. Whoops. Yeah, they do react to stasis. Nice. Yeah, it's like you thought you were safe. Gives them more personality too. Yeah, exactly. I like how it gives them a touch of personality. Yes, the enemy has discovered the Y-axis. Okay. Not a lot of progress on this level. I imagine that it's basically a giant hourglass in space, and the gimmick with it would be that it would be like mostly a vertical level. And then what would happen is that you'd have like an orb, some kind of orb or device that you hit with your sword, and then it rotates the level 180 degrees. And then I'd have like a sandy floor on the bottom. And then when the level rotates, you'd have to stay next to the orb in order to avoid like drowning in the sand as it fell. But it would fall, and then it would start like sinking into the other half of the hourglass. If I can figure out the shader effect for that, then I think that would be like a really cool idea to play with. But yeah, this uses the same layout as the test level for now, because I just wanted to focus on the background. Alright, let me take sippy. Noob Junior asks, how do you get the SFX? Various sources. Most of my sound effects are like free to use stuff. I also have built up a collection over the years from various sources. And I do dabble in a little bit of sound design myself. I basically do it by mixing, like, I'm mixing sounds from different sources together in a way that makes it feel like a new sound. And also, I am I'm a bit of a composer, you know, so something else that I do, especially for menu sounds, is that I will actually like compose it as a song and then make sure that it's fast enough to work as like a menu chime. Like that's what I did for the actual menu sounds that you hear. The GDC audio bundle is a good source. I think I saw that. I think that's the one I downloaded, where it had like thousands of sound effects from free sources. Oh, thank you first for hydrate. I'll take another sippy. Ah. Okay. So there's something I want to show you first before I show this next level. I'm going to pull up my sprite editor again, because I want this game to have an ice level. But yes, these are the tiles that I came up with for like an ice stage. Nice transparent, nice crystals, and like the darkest color on the crystals is transparent. That's a really cool effect in game. But the thing is, like a lot of platform games have ice levels, and it's quite difficult to come up with a unique look for them. Like, I suppose you could have like a snowy mountaintop in the background, or you can make it take place in like a crystal cave or something. But I tried that initially and it didn't like feel interesting enough to me, so I went in a little bit of a different direction. One of my favorite things to do when I'm struggling to come up with like a good stage design is to take two different themes that don't normally mix together and kind of like mesh them together and see what happens. So for the ice level, I decided to put it in the sky and put a freaking tornado in the background. It looks so cool. And it's not like, in terms of like graphics, it's not as complicated as some of the other backgrounds that I've made. A lot of the heavy lifting is done through particle effects. Thank you, Nat. Glad you like it. But there's no enemies in this stage yet or anything really. But I did put down tiles and stuff just to see how it would feel. I think the tornado makes for like a very dramatic set piece, and I think eventually I would want some like indoor sections inside like an ice palace, and then there'd be like really tall like vertical windows where you could still see the tornado in the background. Yeah, dramatic in a good way, thank you. Thanks everybody. So let me go into the editor and I'll show you how I put this together. Okay, so this is the particle spawner. It's all one particle spawner, and I basically what happens is that it's a 2D particle spawner, and I made it so that like I have these little like cloud objects. Let me bump down the amount just so you can see. So see, that's what one cloud does throughout the entire process. It just kind of like wiggles upwards, and then it gets like bigger, and like some of them kind of like spiral. So what's going on there is that I set the orbit velocity, which basically makes it rotate around the origin, but then I add upwards gravity, and it gives it like a cool like 3D spiral effect. So now let me bump up the particle count once again. So now you can kind of see what's going on. And you can see this entire tornado is just made up of these tiny little cloud sprites, but there's like hundreds of them active at a time. Yeah, particle effects are something that I really didn't use a lot in our previous game projects, but like I'm a fan now. Like I really like using them for clever effects. So that is like the full amount now. Let me double check, make sure that was correct. Okay. Yeah, that was fine. Nice. Oh, okay, cool. I thought it froze for a second. You don't see this part up here, so you don't see it disappear. Now the spiral in the background, another layer to the effect. It's basically just like a simple like rotating animation. You can see when I play it, it's just a box that rotates. But what makes it look squished in 3D like that is that I make it a child of a node, just like a regular 2D node, and then I set the scale so that like the y-axis is squished, and that will make it so that like the rotation, the actual rotation, is not affected. So it kind of gives like a nice 3D look. And then I made sure that it rotated in the same counterclockwise direction as the spiral itself. So let me pause that real quick. But yeah, that's what I did. And then beyond that, I put in some cloud layers, and they scroll. The bottom cloud layer is transparent, and it's layered over like the terrain and the player and everything. So that way it gives it some nice depth. Yeah, it does kind of remind me of Mode 7. Baby node. Wiggly little cloud. Yeah, it's... Oh my gosh. I really like the look of this stage. And I'm thinking that maybe like I could either have some like crystal bat enemies in the ice palace, or I could have platforms that have bat wings on them. Something that's like... I think like sort of like a gothic aesthetic is starting to materialize in a lot of these environments. And you know, I'm a goth IRL, so it's kind of my wheelhouse, which is it's really cool to like experiment with that, like especially like in the Sanctum Hub area. I kind of like played around with like more of a gothic aesthetic compared to what I usually make. Well, yeah, the inner goth comes out. So I think that's pretty much all the environments. So I'm gonna close this. So I was thinking that today I could actually like make a whole enemy from scratch, and that way you can see kind of like how I do that too. I did that on my first dev stream actually, but but this time I think I'll have more of a focus on like the way that I put particles together. You know, like the tornado, for example. You love the combining two themes idea? Love when games put a creative spin on familiar themes? So happy to hear that. Yeah, me too. It makes them more memorable, you know? Alright, so I have a pretty good idea of the enemy that I want to work on next. So what I will do is I will create a new scene. Wait, no. I want to, why is the font messed up now? I thought it was smaller. Oh, whatever, I'll fix it later. So, where'd you go? Okay. Actually, I want to work on in the test level. Where are you, test level? Yeah, this one. Move this target up here for now. So, what enemy do I want to use as a base? Because the way I set up enemies is that they have a bunch of hitboxes and stuff that I want to carry over without making from scratch. So I guess I could duplicate the bell slime. You believe that after playing 30XX has a cool water blob level with gravity mechanics? So you can have upside down water and blobs all over? Oh! I still have to... I can't wait for 30XX to get out of early access. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so... we have a bell slime here that we are going to outright replace. I want to turn off the grid because I don't need it. No, that's not it. How do I turn off the grid? Okay. There we go. So, I want a new set of animations. I also want to turn these off for now so I can see clearly. Okay, so that's new. And I've prepared. Oh, you can't see the window, but I have the file open window. So I'm going into my sprite folder, in the enemies, and then I'm going to import the enemy that I want to work on. I'm importing the sprite sheet right now. Okay, I got 6 frames. But I'm going to use just 1 for now. Yeah, that one. There we go. So this is the mascot of a Hololive VTuber known as Botan. She's on the Japanese side, but like her mascot is like a cat that is also a bomb. So very easy to imagine what exactly this enemy would do. So I think this mascot is a prime candidate to be implemented in the game. Okay, so we have the default animation, which is just an idle animation. That is fine, just that 1 frame. I'll add a new one for running. And then I have like a 5-frame running animation. That's too slow. Let me bump that up to 15. That's better. Ash, moving. So this enemy will basically try to run towards you and then kind of like detonate in your face. Okay, now I want 1 for when it's preparing to detonate. Let's see, what do I call it? I'll just call it detonate. Yeah, it is one of Botan's bombs. Is that how you pronounce her name? Botan. This enemy also is an enemy in another fan game called Hololive. So it's pretty cool how that works out. Okay, so basically when the SSRB is preparing to detonate, it will like turn and face forward. I will also use this animation for when you like knock it away. Oh! I just realized something. Like, you know how when you defeat an enemy, like I'll show you real quick. So, you know how when I fight an enemy and defeat it, it flies backwards? That's perfect for a bomb enemy. So when, like, if you pretend that, like, this is, like, the bomb enemy, when... Oh, please respawn. I'll just find another one. But yeah, like, when you knock the enemy away, when it flies away, it will fly, like, out of range, and it'll, like, you could use it as, like, a weapon. Like, so you could use the bomb as like a projectile. You could send it flying towards an enemy behind it. Awesome! I love when things work out like that. Yes. Oh my gosh, game design. Also, D-Birch, thank you for the raid. Welcome, D-Birch and buddy. But yeah, oh my gosh, I can't believe that that's gonna be so awesome once we implement it. Game design. Okay, so these 3 animations are all we need. I think the rest will be handled by particle effects. So what I will do is I will add a new child node. I will add a GPU particle system, and I will put it on top right here next to the fuse. And then we can make it have sparks flying. Let me just position that right there. E. Game design. Okay. So we want to create a new particle process material. So as you can see, it has been instantiated. This is basically what the default particles look like. They're just these little specks that fall downwards. Well, I have created a spark texture that we're going to use. Effects. Okay, that's a sparkle. That's not a spark. Oh, I think I didn't save it as a PNG because let me see if I can find it again. Where'd you go? Current projects. Let me just pull this up so you see what I'm doing. Global assets, sprites, effects. There we go. Okay, I saved it as an Asprite. So this is the spark that I'm going to use. Very simple. Darkred Psycho 92. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. We're making a game, and I'm making an enemy in the game that is like a bomb that blows up in your face. Okay, so now we need to save this as a PNG in order for Godot to recognize it. Okay, so now it should work. Okay. There it is. There we go. So it looks weird right now, but we're gonna fix it soon.
Ashley's Arcade. Thanks for 56 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy your emotes, Ashley. Thank you. Okay, so I guess we still want gravity, but we have to make it fly backwards. So let's do initial velocity. Let's do like 10 at first. That's not fast enough. Okay, we're getting there. So now we want to play with the direction. We want it to go this way. Also, I want the particle to actually change its rotation based on like the direction it's actually moving. So how do I do that? Angle? No, that's not it. Rotation over lifetime? Because angle just like changes like the static angle, but I want it to like to update with its actual We don't want any of this because it has to do with velocity. Well, Google to the rescue. I will Google that real quick. So, Godot particle face movement direction. There should be a random star rotation and rotation velocity parameter. Oh, particle material options. So it is here. Align Y? There we go. Okay, now it's actually facing, but also I need to rotate the spark texture. So let me go back to the drawing table. So what we will do is we will simply rotate it in the texture itself. So I'll rotate the canvas counterclockwise. Save it like that. There we go. Now we're cooking. So it's not fast enough still. That's better. Let's double that. There we go, now it's starting to feel like bomb sparks, but of course they are quite large, so I will randomize the scale. 0.5. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I just think it should be a little bit faster. So I think what I'll do now is, right, I want the lifetime to be lower. Let's do like 1/4 of a second. And now I will, once again, increase velocity. Haha. That's starting to feel nice. Let's increase gravity a bit.
Oh no.
Oh no. Sweet. Okay, I think the particles need to be even smaller than this. There we go. Aha. Oh no. Yeah. Oh, wait. I forgot to turn off my drawing table. Okay. So, this is what I got now.
NANI?
Oopsie. But yeah, I did this. So basically what I did is that I made them even smaller. I increased the velocity even more. I reduced lifetime. Let me turn the FPS speed to 60. Yeah. So I think like by default this will be turned off, but once the enemy spots you, then the sparks will start going. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to make it so that it's local coordinates. So under drawing, I will turn local coordinates on. This way, the spark effect will always follow the enemy. If I didn't do that, then the sparks would be created in world space instead. So when the enemy is running forward, it'll look like the sparks are kind of like being left behind, but I don't want that. The real spark here is you sparking my interest again in this. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Okay. Interpolation's fine. I might even want to make it a bit faster. If you want a shortcut for just making it faster, you can adjust the speed scale. So yeah, I just doubled it. Now it really feels like the fuse is set off. Maybe that's a bit too fast. I'll go 1.5. There we go. I love this song. Okay, that is cool. So I think in the script itself, I will, but yeah, I'll disable emission for now. And then what I'll do is turn it back on in the script. So let's create a script. The rosy cheeks was very wholesome on my avatar. Thank you. So we want to go into scripts.
Slacks gifted a tier 1 sub chat.
Slacks.
They have given 50 cents.
Thank you for the gifted subs once again. Thank you. You're so nice to me, gosh. Okay, that's good. Alright, so we are now in the good old script editor. I also want to duplicate the Bell Slime script for this because, like, I think it's got the most in common with the Bell Slime because of the way it moves and the way it's affected by gravity, even though it doesn't like lunge at the player. So we don't need the jump state. Do not need the jump state. We also don't need an attack sensor anymore. Well, or wait, maybe. It depends on how the explosion's handled. Ba-ba-ba. Got similar vibes from the Clockwork and Cookie levels in 3D Land. Being able to explore these kinds of creative locations in a proper 3D game is something else. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, I think the whole aesthetic of this game is going to be pretty unique once it's done. Like, it's kind of like... I could see this kind of being like a mix between like Gothic and like Toyland aesthetics. Because like a lot of the enemies are like clockwork based. I don't want to go full steampunk. So I think that is probably the likely outcome. Do I actually use a stylus for coding? Never seen something before and it's cool. Oh, I don't actually use a stylus, but this is like just so that you can see like more specifically where my mouse is pointing. And I think that's like a cooler way to do it than having like just the cursor, because the cursor is quite tiny. All right, so we don't need to use the attack sensor yet. So what I will do is I'll add a new state, function state explode. And that will be the state that we go to when we actually blow up. A state charge will be when we are getting ready to detonate. I'll change that to detonate. Ba ba ba. Yeah, that's correct, stream elements. I'm a bat. Detonate, explode. All I want to do, I don't actually want to move physics body in the state. I'll add another animation to this character just for just for hiding it when it's blowing up, because obviously we don't want to see it at that point. Okay. Let's do this. There we go. So this is a default. So I guess we could keep the bell sign behavior where if the bomb approaches and is like right next to the player, then it'll prepare to detonate, just for now. And during the detonation state, what we want to do is that as the state timer increases, we will increase the scale. So the enemy kind of like gets bigger before blowing up. So you can kind of like, I think that'll be handy for like actually gauging how large the explosion is before it happens. What I could even do as well is I could add like a circle, like a circle behind it, like a glowy transparent circle that gets bigger as it's preparing to blow up, and they'll let you know, okay, if you're in this blast radius and you're gonna get destroyed. Do I have a circle object? I bet there's a node for that. Circle? No. I could maybe do a color rectangle and then add the material that I use for the screen transitions, which is circle transition. Circle size, I can't remember how this works. Oh, right. So I need to set the maximum size first. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting working with a game that's more structured like a Mario game than the Sonic one. I'm quite insistent that I want it to be more Mario styled. And I think, like, in that case, like, I think I have to approach, like, boss fights differently than I usually do. Because, like, not every stage should end in a boss fight in a Mario style game. Like, I need to change the scale of the object. Let's make the blast radius 200 is too much. That would be very hard to avoid. Let's do 100 for now. Minus 50. Whoops, not 1090, 100. Oops, 100 with 100 height. There we go. You see? So I'll make it grow in size as like the enemy's preparing to blow up. And we want it to be partially transparent. Make it like orangish red. And I also want it to be layered behind the sprite. So if Mario was made by Treasure this time, yeah, I suppose so. Like if Mario 64 was made by Treasure. Okay, so let me put this to the detonate. So if you can imagine it's getting ready to blow up. So it just kind of like, okay, and it says like, okay, this is the radius. Now I do think that is a bit small. Let me bump that up to 120. And I wonder if we could do, I don't think we could do additive blending with this shader. That's fine though. I'll give it more of a reddish tint so it looks more threatening. Okay, that's fine. We will set the initial scale of this to 0 because we are not blowing up yet. Also just for, okay, yeah. Okay, we want to make that blast radius. Studying to become a game developer. Oh, that's cool, Sarasune. Which program am I using? You're using Unity in school? Unity is a very good starting point because a lot of jobs in the game industry look for Unity programmers and like people who have experience with Unity. Personally, I am really taking a shine to Godot recently, and that is the program that I'm using. I'm using Godot 4 right now. So I'd say either one is a very good starting point. I believe so, Health Sword. I do believe that McDonald's Treasureland Adventure was Treasure's first game. I can't remember if that was their first game or if Gunstar Heroes was their first game. Let's see. Okay. So that's good. Change that to blast radius. Oh, also for the attack sensor, we're gonna get rid of it. We're gonna do a circle shape because the explosion is circular. And we'll make that match the blast radius. Does it match? Oh, it's twice as big. I wonder why that is. Did I change the scale at some point? I don't think I did. I just think it needs to be half of that. Okay, yeah. So that is the attack hitbox, I suppose. So on respawn, I will blast radius dot scale equals vector 2.0. Okay, so let's go now to the detonate state. Okay. I don't want this to take a full second. Let's do 4. So that way it takes a quarter of a second to blow up. No, 3. And then when this is 1. So this will be simple. Blast radius scale is just equal to the state timer. Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about Astro Boy: The Omega Factor. I'd be interested in playing that sometime. I've never played it before. I also want to play Gunstar Superheroes after I redeem myself and actually beat Gunstar Heroes on the Genesis on hard, because I wasn't able to finish in time last time. They've also made some shmups that look really interesting. Pretty pleased with sugar on top? Yeah, okay. It's a deal. Okay, so that's fine, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to make it so that gravity does not apply yet. Alright, where is gravity handled? Okay, here. So that way I can actually test it in its own scene. So we don't want move, we want run. Okay, let's see what happens if I just play the scene. Nothing happens. That's fine. I have an idea for how I can easily test this. I will go to the very first test level. Not this one, there's stuff in it. Okay. Scenes, enemies. There we go. Put you right here. There we go. So I noticed that the enemy was not moving at all, period, so let's see what's up with that. You heard Unity something having a tough time, so many layoffs. Oh yeah, like I'm not really a fan of the direction that the company was taking, like when I stopped using it, because like their CEO was saying some stuff that made me worry about the direction that they were taking things in, and it seemed more geared towards like the AAA industry, like they were kind of leaving indies behind. So that's really sad to hear, but it's still a good program. I'm just not like a fan of the way that they're handling like their subscription model, for example. But like for the time being, it's still a pretty essential piece of software to use if you want to make something that can be ported to consoles. Like making games in other software, it is quite doable to port it to consoles. You just need outside help to help port it over. Which, of course, we will be doing with any games that we make in Godot, of course. Prepare to bite? No, prepare to explode. Okay, so... move speed. Okay, let's increase the move speed. Okay, so this enemy doesn't really jump? Question mark? Maybe we could make it jump at some point, so I'll just ignore that. Attack damage, we'll make this do explosion damage instead. And we'll make it do a lot. We'll make it do like 20 damage. Explosion damage. Unity and Game Maker? Oh, I didn't hear anything about Game Maker. That's kind of disappointing to hear too, because I've always thought of Game Maker as like a very good like entry point into like making 2D games as a hobby. Swamp Monster Shell, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. We're doing coding today. You remember getting to the final boss of Gunstar Superheroes on easy, but not being able to win? Yeah, Superheroes is pretty tough. But I think the thing about Superheroes is that like melee attacks are a lot more effective in Superheroes than they are in the original Gunstar Heroes. So it can be easy to kind of get tripped up by that. Like, when I last played it, I don't even really think I used my gun unless I absolutely had to. I just used, like, punches and kicks because they're so satisfying. Okay, physics process is good. Floor collision. Oh, I see. I see what's going on. It's because there wasn't a floor, so obviously it wasn't moving. Okay. State explode, and in the explosion state we want to hide the sprite. And we'll make blast radius scale 0 again. Vector 2.0. So, okay, so what should happen now is that we should approach the enemy. It should, like, the circle around it should grow, and then it should disappear. Hello. Nothing's happening. I wonder why. I can't even interact with it in any way. Like, it doesn't respond to damage either. I wonder what's up with that. Okay, we've got the collider. That's fine. Question mark. Oh, wait, maybe it's the activation sphere. Maybe. Okay, that's 20, that's 20. Why is that weird? Okay. Let's set that to 40. Yeah, sure. Like that. No, maybe a little bit bigger, because I want it to encompass the whole thing, so that way when it respawns, you don't actually visibly see it respawn off screen. 30 minus 36. Oh yeah, I heard about that, Elfie. About Fontes took his driving game and ported it over to Godot. Oh right, yeah, because he made that in Game Maker. That's very impressive. But yeah, I hope everything goes well for him with like the Godot port. I definitely believe that Godot is like much better for 3D games than Game Maker. Oh, okay. His platform game, not his driving game. Yeah, that platform game looks really cool. Alright, activation zone. Let's move you up here. Alright, so with the activation stuff, I think it should work. What? Oh. That's why. Because in the base enemy class, I have to specify a physics body to point to, and yeah, it should be like that. Also, it's not damageable. That's also why it was not, like, interacting with the player. Let's set the faction to enemy and the push strength to 0.5. The sprite can be this one. Also, it needs to have the hit impact effect. Okay. Cool. So it should work now. Oh, he's moving. He's moving. It's just not playing the animation. So I think maybe I used the wrong name. Where'd you go? There it is. Yeah, it says it's set to play move, but we want it to play run. Also, I want a bit of inertia with its X movement. So I'll set move speed to like 160, and then I'll have it like slowly accelerate to that point. Move toward. Body X move speed times direction. Okay. This should work. Ponder. Oh, okay. That works kind of. It looks kind of weird with the way the animation is. Maybe I should set the animation speed to how fast it's actually moving. So, sprite speed scale. I'll multiply the end result by time scale, but for now I want it to be physics body dot velocity dot x divided by move speed. Well, I want it to be the absolute value of that. So that way it will get up to the full running speed, animation speed, as it accelerates. Let's bump that up to 24. That's fine. Can't really see it because of the sensors, but those need to be active, and I can't figure out how to visually like reduce the opacity. Welcome back, Alex. Okay, that's good. So times I want this to be move speed times 0.5. Okay, oh, okay, that explains it, Elfie. Oh, that's so disappointing to hear. Like, honestly, for me, subscription-based services on programs are a deal breaker for me too. If there's no way to just pay a one-time fee to use our program, I'm not interested. Unless it's like absolutely vital to my work. Like, if I have to use a program that has a subscription service and no other option, then I will just subscribe for a few months, do what I need to do, and then unsubscribe. Well, that's disappointing. That's fine though. Alright, so kind of accelerates, but it takes a little while to get up to speed. So I will increase that. Let's do move speed. 2 times 0.5 plus absolute value. Because I don't want the speed to be 0 when on. Do minimum like that. Let's double the traction, shall we? Yeah, I sure hope so, Apps. Like, it really makes me hopeful, the fact that Godot is being worked on by so many people. I think the team of active contributors is like 300 people or so, which is absolutely insane. Okay, that kind of works the way I want it to. So now we just kind of want to wait until he approaches us. Yeah, okay. That doesn't exactly work the way I intended it to with the blast radius, but it's fine. Center. Pivot offset. Okay, that's what I want, I think. Yeah. 60. 60. There we go. And the other thing too is that we want the speed to move towards 0 while the enemy is detonating. Yeah, all it needs now is momentum. It does feel like the Godot is quickly turning into the go-to for indie developers. I would honestly love for, like, you know, like make a good Mega Man level. Like they use the Megamix engine. I'd love for them to port Megamix engine over to Godot, because the engine is getting like so big now that it actually like takes quite a long time to load in Game Maker, which can be quite difficult unless you're using like specific like third-party tools in order to bypass the loading times. So I have my hopes that maybe someday they'll use a different engine besides Game Maker. We'll see. Okay, so now when the enemy approaches us, it should actually like slow down and stop while it's detonating. Come on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. So I think maybe what I could do is, just so there's a bit more reaction time, once this state timer is above 0, I mean above 1, I like this song in the Gunstar Heroes soundtrack. It makes it sounds like a Rouge song. At least initially. Even games like iRacing require a subscription? What? Oh my gosh, now, that kind of explains why BeamNG.drive is gaining traction in like the sim racing community recently. Yeah, the title "Nice Legs." It's because Smash Daisaku has that kicking attack where his legs stretch out. Oh, makes sense to you, yeah. Okay. So state timer. We don't want to change our physics velocity. So what we want to do is, oh, I know what to do. Okay. What we'll do is we'll do that, and then we'll set that scale, the actual scale of the sprite. Sprite? Where are you? Okay. Sprite dot scale dot x plus max state timer -1. I'm gonna do a little bit of math trickery here to avoid having to make a separate variable in order to increase our size. State timer -1. One. Wait. Okay, I don't need to do that. I can just use state timer. And just make sure that it never goes below 1. Okay. And we'll turn the sprite scale back down for this. Fuzzy Beard, thank you for the hydrate. I'll take sippy. Good stuff. And thank you for head pats and stretch. Alright, I'll stretch. Yeah, happy Friday to you too, Beth. You misheard that as Fuzzy B. Yeah, I don't know if it's my microphone or just the way I talk, but sometimes my words kind of like skip over each other. Streaming a Godot project, truly courageous. Nice. Yeah, I'm a fan of the software so far. It's quite fun to use. Like, the whole node system's quite unique. But yeah, welcome, Raycat. Okay, so I think that is good. So now what I want to do is that once we actually detonate, I don't just want to disappear. I want to create a big explosion object. So I will do that as a completely separate scene because I want it to be like a particle effect. To do that, I will duplicate one of our existing explosions. Let's just start with this one. Explode damaging. Wait, no. I don't want it to... I don't want the explosion itself to damage the player. I want the enemy to explode. I'll just call it explode big. So, the way this is set up right now is that we spawn four explosion sprites. And as you can see, it doesn't have a really big radius, so we will increase the radius and the amount of explosions. Haha. I think what would be cool is that if we started at the bottom and then kind of like created like a mushroom cloud effect where the explosions are progressively spawned higher and higher as the animation continues. So I'll make this unique. It was fine. People like telling you what to... Yeah, that's no fun. Like, back when I was using Unity, people were like, oh, you should change to like Unreal Engine or whatever. And I was like, no. If you're comfortable with a program, you can make it work. Like, you really don't have to switch if you're already like knee deep into a project. Unless like there's some real like severe technical limitation. But yeah, that's why like I'm pretty comfortable with Godot now, even though I had been using Unity for the past 7 years. And now it's kind of like the opposite, where like I'm using Godot and like every now and then I'll hear a comment like, oh you should stick with Unity because you can't really port to consoles that easily. But no, okay, I'm just gonna use what I want. Mama. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. I want to increase the radius. Ring radius. There we go. Let's bump that up to 60, which I believe will match our bomb enemy. Yeah. And it's got like the outer effect. I think that's pretty cool, but I also want some on the inside too. Nice. I wonder if I could do like a. Oh, I got an idea. Maybe I could use a sub emitter for the first time. I haven't needed to use that before. So what I could do is I could duplicate the particle system, assign it as a sub emitter. I'll bump this back down to 20, and then maybe that will get us the rising effect that we want. See, what should happen is that once these particles are done, then it will just kind of like, they'll spawn their own particle systems. Oh, Bloodstain was made in Unreal 4. Nice. Yeah, I've heard that Unreal is good if you're making like a pure 3D game, like not so much a 2D game. Like in terms of graphics. Oh, here we go. I have to set the sub emitter settings. At end. You can set it to be constant as well if you want. Nice. It's a little bit delayed. So, let me do constant. See if that'll do anything. Ah, I see something going on. Ah, JV Wanderer, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I'm making stuff blow up. So, I'm not sure what the dealio is there, where the effect is kind of the same. Maybe keep velocity? Because I could do kind of a spray effect, couldn't I? See, that should work like that. So I want it like pretty much like an instant sphere. What game am I trying to make? I'm making like a 2D platform game that's kind of like a fan game because it has like Hololive characters in it. But I figured it would be like a good opportunity to learn how to make a 2D game in Godot, and also to kind of like show people like my process behind designing games. Because I am the producer of the Freedom Planet series, which is, those are on like PC and Nintendo Switch and PS4. And they're kind of like a mixture between like, it's like if Treasure made a Sonic game. So that's kind of like my past work. But now I'm making kind of like a freeware project. Yeah, my wheelhouse is with 2D platform games specifically. So I'm not quite sure how the sub-emitters work yet. So I wonder if I could change... What's directed points? Oh, I see. That's probably how I could pull off the mushroom cloud look. So sphere, point... It just kind of repeats the same one twice. Which I'm not sure why it's doing that. How much work is it to set up 2D platform action mechanics in Godot? I followed a tutorial when I was just getting started, and it's pretty simple. You just have to get used to using like area 2Ds and signals in order to get the character to collide with things. This Freedom Planet game has such a great soundtrack. You wonder who made that game? Yeah, I wonder too. Ponder. Okay, so sub-emitters aren't really working for me right now. What's this? Yeah, just kind of using the same thing. I think maybe the reason for that is that the sub-emitter is not actually spawning explosions in a ring the way it does here. So let me try setting a velocity on them and see if we notice anything different. Okay. Okay, so I do notice like a different pattern there. Let's do a full 180 spread. I want it to spread outwards, actually. I did that in a different one. Explode spray. Okay, so point 60. Yeah, like that. Angular velocity, velocity minimum, okay. So I think it was like at a point. Let me just port this over to our big one. Oopsie. Where'd you go? I want to copy you. Control C and Control V don't always work for some reason. Kind of have to paste it in. So now let's assign you as a sub-emitter. Ponder. Why is it only like emitting like a few times? Maybe if I increase the frequency. Yeah, I love like working with Mario Galaxy music. It's so pleasant. I guess I could set it to loop just for testing purposes, but eventually I will want it to be one shot. See, only a few of them actually spawn it afterwards. What about at end? Nope. I think it has to be constant. I want it to appear, like, sooner. Keep velocity? No, that just makes it 0. Because, like, the initial ones are 0. What does that do? I don't think it does anything, really. Explosiveness is the key. Because otherwise we just get constant explosions, but that's not very explosive. Yeah, we want the big boom. I'm gonna bump that up to 12. What would be cool is if I did the same effect as in the Freedom Planet 2 big explosions, where I had like streams like going out of the big explosion, like streams of like sparks and ash. Yeah, it's looking bigger because I increased the frequency, but I still want it to be relatively circular so you can tell where like the blast radius is. So maybe I could do like multiple maybe I can do multiple like rings. See, that one is better for like gauging how much. I'll bump that up to 16. Get rid of the sub emitter. Don't need it. I'll turn this off initially. Lifetime's 1 second, if I recall. It is. So I want both of these on at the same time. And then I'll do like the explosion ring and then the spray. And I think that should be good enough for now. I'll play around with it off stream. Yeah, I have like a swirly explosion, kind of like Gunstar style elsewhere, that I use for some other kinds of explosions. But I just want the blast radius to be very apparent on this specific one. So now what we want to do, bump this up. And then the emission shape. Direction. I want this to be full 180. There we go. They're out of sync, so let me turn them both off and on again. Ooh, okay. Nice. Good enough for now. Like, eventually I want them to kind of like start from like the bottom maybe and then like go upwards, kind of like a mushroom cloud shape. Oh, what I could do to kind of like facilitate that is, oh wait, no, it wouldn't work. Because I'd want kind of like a bit of a cloud to go like horizontally on the ground. But there's no guarantee that this enemy is going to always be grounded, so it won't always work. But that is good for now, so I will make that one shot. Okay, that's good. I'll make that explosion big. Going back to SSRB, what do we want to do? So we want to go into the debris properties, spawn on destroy. And we'll put... Oh, right, we have to increase the array size first. Okay. Also, I don't think we need the... Yeah, I don't think we need the explode state anymore, because we're gonna outright, like, destroy the enemy once that goes off, and then, yeah. So under the respawn state is where I'll reset everything instead. So I think in the big explosion, I actually would want to add the attack radius. Because like if we destroy the enemy right when the explosion plays, they will not be able to like do the attack stuff. So I don't think we need this anymore. Cyberspace, thank you so much. You flatter me. You thought this was Jet Set Radio at first? Nope. It's one of the few like really like high octane songs in Ridge Racer Type 4. Okay. That's cool. Let's go back to our big explosion. And we want to add an area 2D. That's fine. Sensor attack. Oopsie. Add a child node. Make it... Because we need a shape in order for it to actually work. So I will add in a circle shape. Nope. I want a circle. There we go. So you can kind of see that's what I was aiming for. So now I think I need to add a separate script to the attack sensor to actually get it to like damage entities that cross it. So let me go and borrow I'm gonna go back to Bell Slime, check the script there. Oh wait, no, I can just go to the script editor and find it. Explode spray, don't need that.
It's Ridge Racer! Ridge Racer!
Ridge Racer! That's all. Want to see how we get... There we go. This is what we want. So now I want to create a new script. Gameplay. Oh, I already have an attack hitbox script. Does it do what I need it to? Oh, no. So this hitbox script actually relays it to the... Okay. Cyberspace Wanderer, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Oops. Okay. Let me take some sippy. Good stuff. Okay, I guess I could expand the hitbox script to where if it doesn't detect a parent node, it will act like itself. Like it will make like itself be like the parent. So let me see. Okay, so if it doesn't have a parent, then what we'll do is we'll basically add the same the function, which I believe is base object make on hit. Oh right, that's for damage hitbox, not attack hitbox. So I think I need to actually make a new script. Scripts. Explosion attack. like that. And then what we'll do is since it's already attached, all we need to do is this. And then if monitoring, so all we need to do is specify a faction. Because I have a faction system so that the player isn't hurt by their own attacks or vice versa. Sport faction string. Oh, var faction. Export var attack damage int. And then I also want to have a vector 2 to determine how far we're pushed back when we get hit by it. Attack velocity, make that a vector 2. Okay. I think that's all we need. We'll set it to 5 by default. So, let's see, how do I determine velocity? I guess what I could do is I could just make this into a float, and then base the angle of the player's trajectory when they're sent flying on like the angle difference between them and the explosion. So attack velocity, we'll set it to set to 500 at first. Faction enemy. Well, actually, let's not set it to enemy. Let's set it to its own faction. We'll do explosion. So that way both enemies and players can be affected by it. So, body call on hit. What determines whether or not we get blown up? That's going to be the tricky thing. Oops. Accidentally did that. Gonna need to go back to my player object script. Player movement. Always looking for people going for it. Fresh game devs bring their personal ideas to the table are so important. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, like you should try something small at first, Siffy, and then see if it's something that you enjoy doing, and then you can kind of like expand on it after that. Okay. So we want to go to the on hit function and see what we can do to actually send the player flying when they get hit by this thing. For attack strong enough to cause knockback. Oh, I see. Right here is where we are handling velocity all the way at the end. So this determines damage. This determines vulnerability flames. This determines. So what do we actually? I'm gonna. Let me see. So I actually do want to throw them into like a specific knockdown state instead of actually just like pushing them backwards. So let's see how I did that. Get the axis. Okay, here we go. So that's like a state KO effect, but And I believe I duplicated that specifically for knockdown. Da 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 da. There we go, state knockback. Does this actually get pointed to anywhere? JP the Wanderer, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy your stay and your follower emotes. Yes, we do, okay. Okay. I gotcha. Okay, I think I got it. State equals state. Knockback. Okay, there's nothing else that points to it right now, but we can change that. Gotta make sure to close these. I'm so glad that Godot's editor actually lets me close things to make it easier to scroll through. Okay. So I guess what I could do is I could add another flag. Is there any other attack that does hit velocity? Hit velocity. Ba, ba, ba. Oh, you just came back from a 9-hour-long day of school? Oh my gosh. That sounds like an ordeal. But you're back! Feel like a potato? Yeah, we all feel like potatoes sometimes. So what I want to do is... I'm not even sure if hit velocity is registered anywhere yet. I guess if it's different than 0, then I can throw them into the knockback state. Yeah, I'll do that. If knockback, hit velocity x not equal to 0, or hit velocity dot y is not equal to 0. Then we'll go into knockback instead. Ta-da! Okay. So I want to copy all these variables as a comment just so I know what I'm doing. So back to the explosion attack script. I will create a comment here, so just so I know. So on hit. So the parent attack damage and vulnerability is next. We'll make that 0.5. Hit flash. We'll make that 4 frames. Hit stun. We'll make that pretty big. We'll make it like 1/10 of a second. And then no, we'll make it bigger than that. Okay. So now, with the velocity, we do vector 2. Oh, I see. change this back into a vector too. Just to make it simple. Attack velocity. I think that's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That works. Okay, let's see. That should be good. Now I just need to actually affect the player's velocity. So velocity.x. X equals, I'll just make velocity equal to hit velocity. Explosion attack. So let's go back to our big explosion. So we want this to be 500. Let's make this... let's make it 300. And then what we want to do is we want to flip the attack velocity if we are... if the explosion's on the opposite side. So... let's do v equals attack velocity, stored in a temporary variable. If body dot global position dot x is greater than this global position dot x, v dot x, we reverse it. So now theoretically this should work. We just have to make sure that it spawns properly from the bomb enemy. Okay. Alright, let's wait for him to come back. I wonder if there's a way, maybe I should make it so I can change the initial direction. Okay, so it kind of works. Also I need to set the respawn properties. Okay, can respawn. So the explosion is being spawned, we just need to actually touch it. And we'll make the initial direction -1 at first. Makes it feel like a chill ASMR coding stream. Thank you. Okay. Okay, that works. Does it respawn? Nope, no respawning. That's fine though. No damage. Okay. Something is not working. Okay. Whoopsie. Okay, so this is good. Attack sensor. I am monitoring stuff. Oh, right. I completely forgot to put it on the right collision layer. So this is classified as an attack, and we are looking for objects. Let's look for block hitboxes too. Okay. Bucky the mascot! Thank you for the follow! Welcome! Hata! Welcome, we are making a game. I am specifically making stuff blow up right now. Always exciting. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this guy's gonna work now. Okay, we do get hurt, but we do not go into knockback state. Why not? Why isn't it possible? Did I mess up the order of everything? So we got the damage. I want this to be 25. Okay, we got the damage right here. Vulnerabilities right here. Flashing here, hit stun. Okay, let me check the method for on hit. I'll copy this over and then I'll see if I did something different. Where is it? Here it is. So let's compare that to what I'm actually calling. So body's good, attack damage, and vulnerability. Oh, I see. That's fine, I guess. About half a second of vulnerability is fine. Flash is good. Hit stun's good. Attack velocity is good. It should be fine. I don't know why it's not. Oh, I think I see what's going on. No. Not. Oh, this is the part where it actually, where it flips the attack velocity. So I don't think I need to actually do that in the explosion script. Okay, that's good. You just gotta have to go through it like through your code one step at a time to make sure everything's okie dokie. I just game dev stream on Twitch. Ow, the edge. Okay, where am I actually? Okay, here, action hit. Oh, we're completely bypassing the velocity check by going into action hit. Where is that? I am at Aldi. Here it is. So we forget to transfer the velocity over, so I will do that. Okay, that. That's probably fine. Let's see if it works now. Thank you for hydrate. I'll take sippy. Good stuff. Alright. Okay, now we do get knocked down, but we also don't get sent flying vertically. I think I need to just reverse the Y speed. Also, what I want to do is when we actually go into the knockback state, I want to be, like, outside the ground state. I think it'll be fine as long as the velocity is reversed. Yeah! Awesome! Let's go! Woo! Okay. You're so good. Thank you, Alex. Ah. Whoops. I have to figure out how to make him respawn. I have to come up with a better, like, hit sound to make it feel more impactful. But I like the idea of just having you sent flying by the explosion. Maybe I can lower it a little bit, but also make you fly higher vertically. And I could maybe see levels where you get like an invulnerability power-up, but you still get knocked back by stuff, and you'd have to deliberately use the bomb explosions to hurl yourself on the high platforms. Now what I want to do is, okay, so first I want to make sure, I want to see how, whoopsie. What I want to do is, I want to make sure that this enemy actually properly respawns. I'm not sure why it's not. Base object. Okay, so there is, in the base object, there is a like a defeated state, so... Okay, right here. Yeah, the destroy call should be doing it. If can respawn. Maybe it is respawning, but it's still invisible for some reason. I don't know. It should be resetting its variables properly. So I don't know what the dealio is. Ah! You are a wise old tech guru. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, respawning is on. So I really don't know why it's not going off. Okay, so what I want to do now is I actually want to make the sparks fly, and you have kind of a delay so that the enemy doesn't blow up in your face right away and you have a chance to attack it. So we'll do sparks. We'll just call that sparks. As soon as it senses you, it will start increasing an internal timer, and then at that point I'll have sparks activate. So if sight or state timer is greater than 0. So then we'll add to state timer. If I better add a separate, I'll change this to detonation time. And then I'll make it, I don't know, 3 seconds? And then like eventually I could add like a shader to the enemy to make him gradually like pulse red faster and faster. State timer is greater than detonation time. Okay. So also we want our sparks to be actually emitting. And while sparks is emitting, if the sprite is facing left, we want to flip the offset. So it's a good thing that we put this in local space. So what we can do is let me turn it on real quick. So it looks like that. So we should be able to set this to -1. Yeah, let's go. So I'll turn that off again. Actually, let's set it to let's add a child node. Spark. Put sparks here, and we'll name this emitter instead, and that way Whoops. I want this to be like at origin. So what we'll do now is that, well, this is active. So now when we flip the scale of its parent, its offset will be offset. Yeah, you can imagine that the fuse is going to be right over here when the enemy is facing left. So that's going to work better. Change this to Sparks emitter. And then we'll make it so that if sprite is flipped horizontally, then sparks dot scale dot x equals -1. Else, yeah. Oh, Freedom Planet 2 is less Sonic than Freedom Planet 1. True or false? I'd say true. But like, yeah, like I've said this multiple times, but like I'm really a fan of that one like fan review that basically said like Freedom Planet 2 is what would happen if Galaxy Trail made Freedom Planet 2, and like it's basically like the sequel like kind of like does more to form its own identity. And I can kind of tell, I can really tell that because there are people who have played our game and really like it, even though they don't usually play Sonic games. So that kind of tells me that it kind of does, we kind of do our own unique thing. We've kind of carved out our own niche. So now what we want to do is when we start detonating, we will set the emission to false. And we'll set it to false for respawning too. Felt a lot more of the Smash Bros. Influence in Freedom Planet 2. Yeah, like with all the characters having directional attacks and stuff. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it too, Eps. Freedom Planet 2 is Freedom Planet 1 with more fighting game. Exactly, especially with the graphical fidelity, like our whole like mission with making it like feel like it's like a fighting game in terms of pixel art, but it's actually a platform game. Thank you so much, Serious Renee. Okay, that kind of does something. Invalid index global position. What is going on there? Well, we don't need to change our direction, so I guess that's fine. Oh, right. Referee Sam, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. Hope you're doing well. Oh, right. We left it on. Oops. I forgot to turn the oven off. So let's turn that off. Now what should happen is that the spark should be off until I missed my window. Okay, yeah, it's off until to start with. And once the enemy actually like sees us and is close to us, then the fuse will light. There we go. Let's go. I want it to slow to a stop faster when it blows up. So I will increase that. Yeah, let's go. And just like I said, when we because of the fact that when we destroy enemies they get sent flying, we can actually use this as a weapon against other enemies if we're fast enough. So now what I want to do is I want to go into the base enemy script and look at the KO state. So state KO, I'm going to transfer this over, and that way we can set the animation so that it looks more like a projectile. And then maybe what we could do on top of that is we could actually make the enemy spin while it's flying through the air. So we'll do state KO. We'll do super, which is which calls the KO state from the base thingy. And then we'll sprite that play, detonate, and then we'll set the sprite rotation in degrees. We'll add it based on the x velocity, physics body dot velocity dot x. And then when we respawn, we'll make sure to set that back to 0. I love this song. It gives me such warm, fuzzy feelings of exploring Station Square as a little kid. Oh, Rob, thank you for hydrate. I'll take sippy. Oh my gosh, yes, Sippy. I love this feeling when your code finally works after just like an hour or so of just meticulously typing code. It's so good. Okay. Okay, that works still. Now we want to attack. Yeah! Whoops. Okay, so that actually stays behind. Oh, we are respawning. It's just that the sprite's not being shown for some reason. So I want, for the explosion, I want to set a duration that it actually lasts. Ah, I am receiving a phone call. Hold on a second. BRB. Spacey Bottotelli will return after the break. I'm back. And I'm back. It was a robocaller. Like, as soon as I picked up, without even saying anything, they were like, is this the head of the household? And then I'm like, hold on one sec, I'll get the head of the household. And then I hung up immediately. E. I've taken sippy. Oh, so what is this art fight that y'all are talking about? Yeah, like, I think it helps to kind of like compare new or niche games to like more established properties, and it's kind of a good way to kind of explain what the game is about to people who might not be familiar with the work. Art Fight is an online social art challenge. You join one of 2 teams and fight by drawing fan art for people. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Yeah, it'd be cool to like participate in something like that sometime. Let's see. So I want to add a duration to this explosion hitbox. So export var duration, and we'll default it to I don't know, 0.5 seconds. No, it's not snappy enough. I'll do 0.3. And then we'll add an internal var. I'll just call it timer. Float. 0. Then we'll do if timer is lower than duration. Timer plus equals delta, else we return, and then we don't process the rest of the function. And that should work. Game critic Matthew Matosis had a great point about how defining genres can lead to restrictive and reductive discussions on games. Yeah, I could see that. So I think like eventually you'll want to kind of like describe a game on its own terms. But like when you're just starting out, when you're kind of like breaking the ice, so to speak, it can be a good like frame of reference. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people crossing over Sonic and Pizza Tower and Freedom Planet and Spark to varying degrees. I'm also a really big fan of the way that people are crossing over Pizza Tower and Celeste, because like both protagonists kind of deal with like self-esteem issues and anxiety, and they both like scale a really tall object in order to kind of solve their problems. Yeah, they're fun, speedy platformers with unique identities. That's what we all got in common. All of us indie games. Okay, so I think this should be enough. And I also want to see what's going on with our bomb enemy remaining invisible when it respawns. Yeah. Maybe someday I'll play X7. I'm just not feeling up for it just yet. Because I watched it and it's a thing, but it has awesome music. Okay, so the base state KO, the base respawn. What is making our sprite hide itself? I wonder. Is it maybe a scaling issue? Let's see. So I think maybe is there any point where I actually hide the sprite? I don't think so. I'll just set this to default. Direction, nope. Nope. Whatever. Now what I want to do is I also want the enemy to follow the player once they actually see a target. So now if sight, if global position.x is greater than sight.position.x plus Let's do 20 pixels. And then we do direction equals -1. That should be fine. Forward -20, set direction to 1. That should be fine. Phew. Oh, I remember the age of like graphing calculators and like programming small little games in them. and you do that just like a lot of people I knew who did that like did it out of boredom in order to kind of like get away with playing games during class. Can a calculator run Doom? I think somebody did do a Doom port for Texas Instruments calculators. Okay, it's running away from us instead of towards, so, oopsie. I gotta flip the signs. I think. Yeah. Maybe. It's still not running towards us. Oh, I see why. It's because it doesn't notice us. It doesn't notice us before it actually turns around. So I think we need to change the sight sensor and kind of like move that over a little bit. Or maybe it can remember a target. Current target. So it will basically like, once it sees something that it can blow up, then it will like basically relentlessly chase that thing. So, if sight...
What the dog doing?
And state timer. What the dog doing? I'm sure it's nothing. It's only Paige barking. Target, current target. Patolino de Pijama. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. So, current target equals sight. So now, the current target is what we will run towards. So now I want to turn that off once we respawn. Oh, a cake inside a mug cup. You make using a microwave? Oh, I remember having like a mug cookie at some point, where I put all of the ingredients to make a chocolate chip cookie into like a little mug, and then you like put it in the microwave for a certain amount of time. It's pretty decent. I do prefer oven cookies, but it's a cute solution if you don't feel like waiting like 10 to 20 minutes to make cookies in the oven. It's one of the recipes in your cookie bookie. Awesome. Your new one or the previous one? It's still not running towards us. What the heck? Okay, let me see if we actually respawn. No respawning? No! What the heck? So... oh, collision, Sight, state timer, Oh, I see why. It's probably, like, running away from us now. Oh, no, it's still running from us. Let me actually test the explosion delay real quick. Okay, it is working. Now let's see if I actually blow up. Yep, okay, that still works. Wonder what the deal is. Move speed times direction. So the global position is greater than. Yeah, I don't know. It should be the exact opposite of this, but for some reason it isn't. I feel like he asked this question before, but what's the best 3D pre-boost era Sonic game? Oh well, there's something like I have a really big soft spot for Sonic Adventure 1. Like, I think it's just the nostalgia talking though, but there's just something about the vibes. It's just like a perfect balance of that kind of like magical upbeat positivity and the kind of like drama with the whole chaos thing and the echidnas. But I will confess that Sonic Adventure 2 is more mechanically sound, and like it's better animated. The Chow Garden is like absolutely insanely good, and like the Sonic stages are also really, really good. I mean, like gameplay, like sudden gameplay changes aside, like I do find myself going back to 2 more than 1, like just for the Chow racing. And then I have a really big soft spot for Shadow the Hedgehog now that I've experienced it. I really had fun with that. It's just the kind of like cheesy like 90s edginess that you can just laugh at and have fun with. And like the fact that like you don't really need to go for the final story. You can just play it a few times, get the routes that you want, and just like walk away having a good time. Especially if you go for the routes that have the less tedious stages, like the neutral routes. Yeah, the vibes in Sonic Adventure 1 are so wonderful. So I'm still not sure why it... Number one, why it's turning invisible. Why it's not properly respawning either. Maybe I need to reroute the sensor, the signal. Let me try that again. Try disconnecting this. Reconnecting it. Okay, that should work. I'm getting some errors in the console. Maybe that might give us some clues. No animation with the name KO. Where are we seeing that? Oh, I see. Oopsie. Let's not do that. Let's see if things work a little bit better now that I've fixed those bugs. Nice. Okay. It exists. It's invisible, but it is now properly respawning. Now, it should be setting, like... It should be calling that this respawn function here. And by doing so, it should be setting the emitter as well. Why isn't it doing that? It's also in the default state, and from here, I'm not even sure if it's an animation issue. It might be a scale issue. Scale equals... Oh, whoopsie. Vector 2.1. So in the respawn script, we're actually setting the scale to 0. My bad. My bad. Haha. It works. Yeah, a skill issue, scale issue. Okay, the last thing I want to do is that when it's in the KO state, I want to turn off the emitter. So So if state equals state KO, turn this off, please. Dun, dun, dun. Nice. Okay, so now that that enemy is working, let us see if it will properly blow up other enemies. So I'll put a Pogo Crony here because it's the only enemy that I have that actually stays in one place for the most part. Yeah, okay, so it blows up on our other enemies. Let's go! Nice.
Success!
So let's try putting you in a real level. Where'd you go? There you go. Now, I think something that I want to do is that I want to make it so that it doesn't actually start walking until it sees an enemy approaching. Oh, though, wait. Sight. Oh, okay. So probably what's going to happen is it's going to see its neighbors and then start activating off screen, and then it's going to blow up off screen. Yeah, I might have to play around with the movement properties of this enemy. Make it like a patrol a specific area just so that it doesn't wander off and blow stuff up before the player even gets there. For now, I'll put you here just to test out. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, it doesn't hurt the door for some reason. Hot take, Sonic games never feel good when you're moving slowly. I think it depends on the character you're playing as and like the context. Slower movement can work. Depends on how slow, I guess. Because like obviously the intent with some characters is that they play more like a traditional platform game. So context matters. But I do agree in some situations it's like why do they slow you down? Like for even as early as the very first Sonic game in Labyrinth Zone, like the water physics, why are they so slow? Yeah, you can parry, and when you parry you slow down time. Well, kind of. Well, you can parry stuff by hitting it with your sword, but also you can use stasis to make it easier. Am I planning to compose a small soundtrack for this game? Yeah, I want to give up my best shot. If I'm struggling to get like the genre and the feel that I'm looking for, then I could maybe look into collaborating with other musicians. I actually have like a bunch of drafts. I have like 15 songs drafted, but none of them are in a state where I feel like sharing them just yet. Yeah, and stasis affects this thing too, so it goes much more slowly. Nice. Thank you for hydrate. I'll take Zippy. Good stuff. Ah! Heard a few people complain about the FP games not being fast enough. Yeah, like, pure speed isn't everything. Like, sometimes, like, you can get the feeling of pure speed by focusing more on, like, agility and responsiveness. Which is sort of like the Mega Man style. You know, especially the X series. Oh, I'll stretch too. Ma. Hold the pose. Always remember to hold the pose for a few seconds, because otherwise you could hurt your muscles. You want to make sure that they're properly stretched for a little bit so they can kind of get used to it. Okay. So I think the enemy is in a good enough state for the stream. I will polish it more off stream, just like I did with the Lancer Crony. Let's see. And I'll also see if I can get NPC conversations working as well. I think that'll be fun. And then I could kind of handle it differently in the sense that there won't be voice acting in this game. So I could play around with like sound effects for different like dialogue bits. Even though you run at the same speed, Ninja Gaiden is excellent in making you feel fast once you know how to play it. Yeah, that's another good example. Like, pretty much any platform game where you play as a ninja character is a good example of like how speed isn't always about pure velocity. It's about like how fast you can kind of like zip around the environment. Like how fast you jump, how fast you attack, that sort of thing. You're gonna make the mug cake? Wish me luck, guys. Good luck, Bake Ninja. I hope it turns out well. Not gonna do my best Bake impression for every character? Sadly, no. I cannot always be cool, suave, and informative like Spade. Alright, so something else that I wanted to touch up on is like the fact that I don't want to publicly announce this game on social media until I have at least one level and one boss fight implemented. So that way I can kind of like share a video of like the gameplay and kind of like have an instant good first impression. Because I'm not an ideas bat, I'm a doer bat. And like, especially when you're like announcing a new project, you want to have gameplay footage right away. Absolutely, 100%. And like that's especially true if you're doing like a crowdfunding campaign, for example, or some other thing where you need to like convince people to support your project. So you want to have like actual footage of what you're making. If all you do is just have like screenshots and like text and explanations of what you're going to do, then like it won't really like convince a lot of people to follow the project just yet, because they're like, okay, I want to see what it looks like first. But like on that subject, I'm not gonna lie, I've been having trouble thinking of a good boss concept. I've gotten a few ideas, but I can kind of like set that up real quick. So my first idea was kind of like something like this, but this doesn't feel cool enough. Like this feels more like an elite enemy rather than a boss. Like it's lacking that wow factor, that pizzazz, and also like the design doesn't like really flow nicely on its own, and I think I know why. I'm gonna pull up the spray sheet in my drawing program. I mean, it's a decent starting point. Obviously, I could like put more polish in it as is. Because another thing you want to do with like a larger boss type enemy is you want to add lots of like little like details and flourishes to the design. Otherwise it doesn't give a good impression of its scale, and it just looks like a normal sized enemy zoomed in. Like, you can see that there aren't a lot of details. Like, so I would probably, if I worked on this enemy more, I would probably add like some ornamentation like around its helmet and stuff, and like extra decorations around the legs, for example. And that way its level of detail will match that of like the player character, for example, and it will like, you'll be able to tell at a glance how big it's supposed to be. But this is a spray sheet. I started with the parts separated. I don't think that's the strategy that I need to employ in order to have a truly impressive boss design. Because if I just start with the individual parts and then assemble them later, it will look like a bit too segmented, and it can be tricky to make all the parts look like a part of a cohesive whole. So, something that Tyson Tan actually taught me when he was designing like enemies and bosses for Freedom Planet 2 is that he just treats it like a normal drawing. Like he just makes like a concept sprite, all in one layer at first, very roughly, mind you. And then only once he has like the design solidified will he actually like go in and cut out the parts and separate them and draw them individually. So I tried that. I tried that yesterday. I started yesterday, and then this is as far as I got. So this is take 2 for a boss, and I feel like it's a lot more cohesive. It's like, I want the first boss in the game, I want the reaction to it to be like, what the heck is that thing? And it's getting there. I imagine that eventually I could have it actually turn around and you could fight the dragon side on the back. And like, it would just like flip between both the dragon and the whale sides. It's like, I don't even know if it's like half dragon, half like big fish of some kind. And then it's got like a little like crystal cannon. I still need to play around with the design a little bit, just because I prefer boss designs where you can actually tell kind of what it's going to do just by how it looks and the weapons it has. But I think this is a much more solid start than the other one. Like if you, no, I want to look at the assembled one. So like this is my first take on a first boss, and this is my second take on the first boss. And of course I'll add like lots of ornamentation to the legs and stuff to give a proper sense of scale. Is it wearing heels? Those are hooves. Like, you know, like horse hoofs. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Concept, theory, practice. That's the workflow that works best. You think this boss is awesome? Thank you. Yeah, I think this is a really good starting point. I want to do more with this, so I think this is going to be the one that I work on. And then eventually I'll separate like the neck into separate pieces. That way we can get some good like animation going in, like some good like treasure style animation. Like the color scheme on Take 2. Thank you. Yeah, I like it too. It feels more threatening than the other one. Like the other one, like I wanted to have a bit of a Toyland vibe, but I think that like went a little too far in the toy direction. So yeah. Got into the habit of writing down files for stuff you want to do, and you got a book or two by now. Oh, that's so cool. Tricky part is actually being happy with things, but you like to think it goes in the words because you like it enough to remember it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Siffy. I like that too. Like when a boss design just looks like it wants to do some damage, like it wants to beat you up. Well, so a similar philosophy can be applied to enemy design as well. So I tried working on an enemy that is basically like a fan that blows you away. I want that to be in the first level as well, or at least one of the early levels, because I think it's a good way to teach players how to dash. Because obviously if you're getting pushed away, you can't move forward unless you're using the dash ability, so it kind of like mandates that you know how to use it effectively. And I tried to go for kind of like, you know, like a Regal style fan, but it looks too much like a normal gimmick. It doesn't look like an enemy. And I think the reason for that is it lacks a face. Something about the human brain like lights up like a Christmas tree when it recognizes like a recognizable face in something. So I think when it comes to like enemies, I think that's the distinction between an enemy and a gimmick or a hazard that might hurt you in the stage itself, is that the enemies kind of have like faces and personalities. So with that in mind, I worked on the concept a little bit more, and this is what I came up with. So I basically just took the fan and made it the inside of like a ghost, and the ghost is based on Fubuki's mascot. Obviously, I don't have a tail yet, but yeah, like I could imagine that like it could push you away, and also try and pull you towards it, and then it would raise its arms like, "Rawr, I'm gonna eat you, get me over here." Big fan of this design, thank you. Yeah, once again, I might experiment a bit more, but yeah, I like the look of this one a lot more. And like, it kind of goes with the fact that like, as I go on, my enemy designs, that I made at the beginning of the game, like, you know, you're just like cronies and other like silly things. But the more I work on the game and the more solidified its aesthetic becomes, like the more intimidating the enemies are starting to look. Like, it's starting to really like tie in together with the whole like pseudo-gothic aesthetic. Toss a burger into the fan blades and it's instantly disabled. Yeah. Species unleashing the beasts. Yeah. So it's really fun to just like revisit some of my old designs, like the fan, for example, and just like now that the aesthetic of the game is more solidified, I can just like go back and kind of like apply what I know. Spiral Knights. I've heard of that. I haven't played it. I don't even know what genre it's in. Oh, bye, other Alex. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Wow. Yeah, a little brain marination. Spiral Knights was a cute MMORPG. Oh, okay. MMORPGs are so bittersweet to me, because one day they are going to go offline, and their content will pretty much be lost forever unless someone recovers the admin files and makes their own private server. So that's why I really try not to get too attached to them, but they can be pretty impressive sometimes, like depending on how much work is put into them. Da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da, da-da. Oh, it's still around, but it hasn't been updated since the late 2010s. Oh, interesting. It's cool that they still try and keep it alive. Oh, you heard there's some crazy geniuses who managed to reverse engineer the server software? Oh my gosh. I could imagine that that's the case for a bunch of games, like World of Warcraft Classic, for example, before it was officially adopted by Blizzard. It was just kind of like a fan-run thing. No pun intended, given what's on the screen right now. Also, another tip about adding faces to your enemies. They don't strictly have to be like, you know, 2 eyes and a mouth. Like this enemy, for example, is something that I came up with recently, but all it has for a face is like a single triangle-shaped eye, but it's still a recognizable face to us, so I think it still works. But I kind of like the look of it. I imagine this would be something like that could fit, like, you know, like Laplus's aesthetic, Lapus Darkness from Holox. I don't know if she actually has a mascot to represent her fans, so I decided, like, okay, I'll just like take inspiration. There's no limit to the amount of eyes you can have. Yes, that is true. Wow. Yeah, exactly, Siffy. That too. The helmet helps put the rest of the face in context. Yeah, Laplace has that crow on her head, and I guess that's like the one mascot. It's a really interesting bit of lore. Like the crow is there to prevent her from taking her bracelets, her collar off, because she's got collars on her neck and her arms and legs. And supposedly if she takes them off, she unleashes her true power, and it could be like universe ending if that happens. So the crow basically like annoys her if she tries to remove them. It's really interesting. But I don't understand Japanese, so I can only understand what is actually like put in context by English fans, unfortunately. But they seem like such a fun group. Oh, Mushroom Kingdom Fusion's still being worked on? I remember that game. I played that when I was a kid. Long-term projects like that are very interesting. And I heard that they pared down some of the ideas that they have to make it like a massive crossover, just so they could get the whole thing finished in like a completable state. But yeah, that is my that's my little 101 on the way I design enemies, I suppose. Come on. Ba-ba-ba. But yeah, that's pretty good amount of progress today, I would say. We made an enemy, and I went over all the cool like drawings that I've been making. And I'm gonna keep designing stuff, and I'll keep working on that boss. And I think that'll be like my main priority. But I'll do other things on the side. And of course, eventually, I'll want to have like a full stage ready. How to design enemies 101. Make a guy, just a little guy, and boom, you're done. Yeah, exactly. Today was really, really fun. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. Step 1, draw a circle. Step 2, draw the rest of the dude. Yeah, Argo, that's another tip that I can provide. Is that, like, pick a shape between, like, circles, triangles, and squares, and try to make that a consistent theme within the design of your enemy. I'll pull up the drawing thing again, and then we'll start from scratch, see what we can do. So let's say you want an enemy that is primarily square shaped. I'm gonna start with just drawing like a black silhouette. I'll worry about details later once I get the silhouette down, because an interesting silhouette can really inspire you. So let's say you want a square enemy. Maybe around the corners a little bit. Like, try and keep your shapes consistent. Let's do this. Da, 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 da. I imagine we could do like that, and then round this once again. Welcome back. Mama Spacey's back, and the nieces. Just put that there. Yeah, whatever. So, and then maybe... Hi. Okay. Da 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 da. Oh, it's too big. Let's make it smaller. Flip it horizontally. There we go, and then we got some chains. Just play around with different shapes, but like try and keep like the rate, like keep most of the design centered around a specific shape, but you can like for like a square enemy, you can add like circles. But I gotta move them up a little bit. There we go. Move this over here a little bit. just so we can tell what's going on in the silhouette. So yeah, I got some circles there just like that. Maybe this could be like a crystal power source down here. That looks weird, never mind. If you want to add to this, use shapes to show intent as well. Angular shapes are sharp and dangerous. Square shapes are sturdy and stable. Curved shapes show flow. Yeah, absolutely, exactly, Mike. Okay, so from this design, I'm definitely getting a sturdy feel. I imagine this enemy is like quite tanky and bulky. So now I'm thinking like a floating drone of some kind. So since we have a couple circles down here, we can maybe give it like a circular eye to like add a little bit of like cohesiveness. So there's circles on the top and bottom, but not too many as to overpower the squares. Let's give him sleepy eyes or lazy eyes, I guess. And let's... This is actually fun, kind of challenging myself to, like, come up with a design on the spot without any prior practice. And now let's make this more square-shaped. We want the light source to come from the eye. So anything that's above the eye, we draw the light source underneath, and anything that's below the eye, we'll draw it on top. Okay, that works. Let's do that. Welcome, Joker. Or, wait, we could make the power source come from the crystal instead. Or both. Actually, both is good. Both is good. Something like that. Do that. That's fine. We'll put underlighting right here. Oh, we can bring some of that chain pattern into this, I guess. Da-da. Sha-da-da. 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 Okay, now we want to kind of like bring that over here. And I want to flip this vertically. That's fine. Cool. Give that some definition. So you can kind of see the basic shape now. Oh my gosh, yeah, like that. Now I can actually see like the functionality of this enemy, where it would kind of like levitate above and then drop the chain balls on you one after the other. Aha. But yeah, that's kind of it's kind of like my process for designing enemies. Sometimes I try a few different approaches depending on what I'm doing, but the silhouette method is definitely very effective. I highly recommend it if you have like creator's block. Start with basic shapes. Just focus on making a striking silhouette first, and then fill in the details later. And I kind of did that. Yeah, that's how I did the boss concept. I did use the silhouette method. I tried something else with it too. Right here, it's some kind of bowl, I guess, that has like a pop-up hand. But I'm not particularly happy with that one. I might play with it. I don't know. Boing. But I'm really happy with this one, so I think I'm gonna work on that more. Butter? Talking about butter? Oh my gosh, I love butter. Like, Mama Spacey and I, that's our thing. Like, if we're cooking, you can expect us to use a lot of butter in our in our dishes. Oh, we love it so much. Especially like the natural butter, like hand churned and that kind of stuff. Looks a bit like Nuzlocke. Oh yeah, it does. It's like a dragon slash fish slash crab slash something. Butter, garlic, and olive oil. The Italian. Oh yep, I am Italian, so that checks out. Nossa got legs. Let's do another one. I'm having fun. New empty frame. Now let's try a triangular design, maybe. I'll start with, I don't know, this. I don't know. Sometimes inspiration strikes right away. Other times you have to ponder a bit. Ponder. Da 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 da. I don't know, something like. Oh, I think something in my mind is starting to materialize. That's too thick. Da, 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 da. Oh, something different is materializing in my brain now. Oh. Okay. Someone's being naughty in the other room. Yes, they are likely to fight. Oh, she's so mad. She's so mad. No! I won't play with the thing! She won't let me play with the thing! Yeah, you can tell when it's that kind of fighting. But I do not think that the sound of crying children is good ambiance, so I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? That's... Spacey Bottotelli will return after the break. I'm back, and I'm back. Okay, I think they've come down. Okay, so... they have been silenced. Well... I do love them so, though. Okay, let's see how I'm gonna do this. I could draw it like this, maybe. I don't know, is that how you draw legs? Boing. This is maybe a little too sharp. Too spooky. Yeah, I'll add a little bit of roundness there, I guess. Let's flip that around. Wait, I think I need a reference. Hold on, I'm gonna change it. Oh, hold on a second. How do I meet? Okay, that was Mama's Facey. So I'm gonna look up a reference. Oh. How do? Okay. I think I figured it out. I'm not used to drawing deer legs, so... I had to pull up a photo reference and I'm gonna look at that. I wish there was a simple way to just flip the image horizontally. Oh yeah, that's another thing that you want to do. Periodically while you're working, you want to flip your canvas horizontally. It kind of refreshes your brain a little bit, so to make sure that it's looking okay. So I want to kind of get that. Like that, I guess. Maybe that's too angular, I don't know. I'll draw the actual leg first. Front leg first. See how it looks. Okay, I need a clearer reference. There we go. Okay. Whatever. Oh, it actually goes in the opposite direction, I see. Is that how it goes? I'm sure it's fine. And I'll put this over on my main screen again because I can't see chat. Tacos! Who's talking about tacos? Oh, Asprey has, yeah, I think it does. It has an option to mirror the canvas. So you can see and edit both angles at once. Oh my gosh, I love tacos. Okay, I think I need to... Nah, it looks stupid. I mean, that's technically correct, but I don't know if it actually feels correct. I guess I could make it more like grabby fingers, I guess. Yeah, I could make it like a hopping enemy. Kind of like jumps up and down. I'm gonna put this on another layer so I don't overwrite the helmet. Then I will use a different color for these. Okay, one more. Move this over here. Needs to be thicker. Yeah, I guess that's fine. The spider, yeah, it does kind of look like a spider deer. Party on the moon. Yeah, I love this song. A normal rib cage wouldn't work with this type of design. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna go blobby. Low detail, just getting the basic shape idea down. So move this right here. Nope. Nope. Something like that, I guess, and then kind of like move this up here? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, if we go full... Okay, now we kind of need a neck. That works, I guess. Flip horizontally. Yeah, you can kind of tell what I was going for, right? Kind of like a hopping skeleton. But like, yeah, like I went with like, not exactly triangles all the time, but like a sharp angular design. Like complemented by certain areas of curvature, like with the horns and the neck. Love that you can see the weight of everything just from the shadow. Yeah, that's my goal, Alex, with the silhouette method. Is that just to get a good shape in? Getting a good shape in like really helps set a solid foundation for your idea. And I imagine like when this beast jumps, the neck could outstretch, so it would uncurl itself and like the head would go straight up, and it'd be pretty creepy. Huh? Your experience and creativity shines through. Thank you. You flatter me so. But yeah, let's do a circular one next, and then we'll cover all that. That'll cover all three of the main shapes. Alex, the sweltering 12. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Ah. All right, so let's start with a circle. Make a sphere. I'll do my best to make like a spherical, like an enemy that has like a sphere as part of its design. What direction do I want to go in this time? Yeah, so many Alexes in our community. I mean, only 3, but well, only 3 who chat regularly. There could be a bunch more Alexes who are like lurkers on my stream, which if you're lurking on the stream, thank you so much. Like, it really helps more than you know. And it's like nice to know that this is something that so many people just like feel comfortable enough with that they can just put me on in the background while they're doing other things. Wispy Witch, welcome. Hi. Papa. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so maybe the sphere could be its form of locomotion. No. I'm cooking. Well. Let's move you over here. Okay, let's experiment with a warmer color palette this time. Let's see. The League of Extraordinary Alexes. Nice. I'm not a fan of how the ear looks right there. The wing looks like right there. Something like that. Yeah, I always save VODs, not just on Twitch, but I upload them to YouTube as well. Paul White Fox, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay. Eyes need to be bigger. Bigger. That's fine. Very interesting challenge. Oh, it's not balanced, I don't think. Oops, not what I wanted. I just want to get the ball here. Okay, that's better, question mark. Make it feel a little more solid by adding some light highlights. Rotate this a little bit, make it work more with the flow of the wings. Or what I could do is get rid of this. There we go. And then do like, I want a thicker brush. Oopsie. Oh, a thicker brush isn't working. I need a thinner brush. So now what I'll do is I'll just copy this and paste. I'm trying to go for like a tired tread. I can't believe how hard I went in this stage, Sky Battalion. The fact that there's 3 mini bosses and 3 like separate mini levels. Da, da, da. And then I kind of like put this right here so you can kind of see wow. I'll move this up a little bit so I can add a bit of a highlight so you can tell that it's supposed to be like on the inside of the tire. Yeah, I guess that's passable. Could be a good base to work from. Ta-da! So now I have quickly conceptualized 3 different enemies based on circles, triangles, and squares. Yeah! It takes practice, and you're not always going to come up with a design that you like. It's perfectly fine to just start over from scratch, especially if you're using the silhouette method, because it takes so little work to begin with. To just create a silhouette, so that way like you can just rapid fire different ideas that you have, and then you don't have to worry about putting too much work into it before you decide, oh, this isn't going to work, which is a problem that I ran into with the first boss design. For those who just joined in, yeah, I did not build this with the silhouette method. I built the individual parts first. And I was not happy with it, and I ended up like feeling like it was a waste of time because I can't really use the parts for anything else. Well, I might try and make that design work. I don't know. So yeah. All right. Huzzah! Oh my goodness! Look at it. It's 4:30 already. Time flies when you're having fun. Big fan of these, thank you, Alex. Been interested in using the silhouette method with dark base colors and layering on lighting from there? Yeah, that's kind of what I was doing with the ones that I made during the stream. Like I started with like the silhouette, and then I kind of like gradually added more and more lighting. Like the iterations that I ended up with, like, feel like they're in like a darkly lit room, so I will like lighten them as I continue to work on the designs. But okay, I think this is a good place to cap off for the day. I think we made some pretty good progress today. Yeah, made an enemy, made a few design concepts, and I got to like go over like my thought process for making like solidifying the art direction of a game, I suppose. Thank you all. Time for sleep. It's 10 at night over there. Oh my goodness. Oh, you want to capture that look too, Elfie Fae, for like a nice gothic Fae aesthetic? Yeah, like the best advice I can give in that case is to do research. Like, look up as many references as you can. Just like, something I like to do is I like to create a mood board. And Google Drive actually makes it pretty simple. There's an app that they have called Google Jam, and it gives you like a blank sheet, and you can like copy and paste images into it. And by creating a mood board of different things you like that match the aesthetic you're going for, it really helps get you into the mindset and gives you a bunch of like reference images to be inspired by. Is this using FE2 physics? No. I'm not going that complicated, especially not for a free project. But I will say that Godot's physics are very solid out of the box. Like, I probably could make Sonic physics work if I just put a little work into like raycasting stuff. But I want it to be more like a traditional platformer this time. I want it to be more difficult to cheese the level design the way it can be cheesed in our other games. Your brain is so chaotic, it is its own mood board. Yeah, it do feel like that sometimes. Oh yeah, color limits are a good way to kind of like nail down your aesthetic as well. Yeah, it is, I guess, more of like a Mega Man X sort of vibe, I suppose. That'd be the closest comparison, but the level structure would be like closer to like one of the 3D Mario games, where you have like a central hub that you can enter levels from different openings. At least that's my goal. And like there would be like, it would have like collectathon elements as well, in terms of like, in order to progress through the story, you'd have to collect a certain number of a certain like key item, just like the stars in Mario. Mood board is just your pick. Yeah, you can just have a folder on your computer with image files. That works too. But hot take: Banjo-Kazooie is a Metroidvania. That's funny to think about, but you know, 3D Metroidvania, it does kind of fit the bill in a way, I suppose. I saw a post on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I'm sorry, but I saw a Twitter post about how like they described the Princess Bride as a Souls-like, and specifically because there's like giant beasts to defeat, and there's like campfires and like spooky areas, and there's a rolling mechanic. Oh my gosh, I like silly stuff like that. Your idea right now is 16 BG, 16 object split, similar to how the SMS hardware works. Oh yeah, like that's something else that's really cool to experiment with, is like deliberately limiting yourself to the hardware specs of a specific retro console. And it kind of like forces you to come up with creative solutions for various things. I find that's an especially effective method if you're having trouble like finding the focus of your project. Yeah, super cool, Alfie. But yes, thank you all so much. This was so much fun. I definitely want to do it again in a few weeks when I've made more progress, of course, that I can show off. So let's find somebody to raid. Well, let's see. It looks like my good friend Mango is about to play some Monster Hunter. Quite a shocker. but like the joke there is that she almost exclusively plays Monster Hunter games, but we all act like genuinely like shocked and surprised whenever she does. I'm not sure which Monster Hunter yet, but we shall find out. So let's raid her. Mango B-tuber. But for those who are not familiar with her, she's a bird who can transform into a human. She's one of my best VTuber friends. so much fun. But yes, without ado, without further ado, I shall bid you all adieu. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next week, starting on Tuesday, where I will be finally be finishing my Freedom Plan 2 playthrough. Oh my gosh, it's such a big game. But yeah, all I have left is like the Battlesphere matches, so I can get the good ending, and then the end game. I'm excited for that. And then thinking I can play either more Mega Man or more Sonic or more whatever. I usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So I'll give it some thought, and I'll post the schedule by Monday. That's a wrap. Bye.